Hello, everybody. Mike Martin and Keith Best here this week. How are we all doing? Everybody doing good? I can see we've got loads of people on, which is not unusual. Give me some yeses and ones in the box to make sure you can hear me okay. In fact, give me a 1 that you can hear me and give me a 2 if you can hear Keith. Do you want to just test your mic, bud?
Yep. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are.
Nice one. So we've got Jorge, Richard, Scott, Klaus, Richard, Graham, Saeed, I think that is. Jorge, Graham, Scott, Jorge again. You're getting a 1 and a 2 in there, buddy. Richard, Saeed, yep, there's Klaus. Okay, loads of you guys are actually are starting to message now. That's good. This week, it's running up to Christmas. We just thought, you know what, a lot of people do a lot of web building, a lot of stuff over the Christmas holiday. So I thought it'd be a good idea for me and Keith to get on, do a quick walkthrough of MPP, show you some of the features, some of the stuff it does, and then basically go through and do some Q&A so that anyone struggling with anything, anyone who's got any questions about what we're doing tonight, you can get that off your chest. You can go through it. Probably going to stick around for about 2 hours, I would imagine. I can't stay much longer than 2 hours, so it's now 2 minutes past 6, and then we'll go from there. So, yep, Stuart 12 UK, Lincoln, you're right, buddy, from New Zealand. Hey, Mike, hope you're doing well. Cheers, Steve. Yes, doing absolutely brilliant. Keith, should I give you access to the screen, mate? And we can push forward straight away.
Yep, and I'll crack on.
Where are you? So, guys, questions, as always, put 3 question marks at the start so we don't miss them. Keith, do you want me to ask you questions throughout? If anyone asks any as we're going, or yep, just put in.
Yeah, you can do. Just put in. You know we do anyway.
Yep, and don't forget to zoom in. Right, you're going to be presenter now, mate.
Okay, I will show my screen too. And there we go. Can everybody see my screen?
Certainly can. Max Magic Page User Guide. Just quick, and do we have MPP option for dynamic keyword information source, where you can have a keyword shortcode indexed MPP? This, right, I don't understand that. Put 3 question marks on that one and repost it in, Jorge, and we'll go through all the questions later on. I'm going to get Keith to go through this bit first. That's a pretty long question. And then we jump on that. Everybody's saying yes, Keith, so over to you, mate.
Okay, guys. We get a lot of support tickets in, and we get a lot of other stuff coming in. A lot of them are just questions, which is still really good because it gives me ideas for how to update the user guide and also some videos to create and all sorts of things like that. So never be afraid to ask anything. Sometimes it's best to ask in the Facebook group because you'll get more than like just me giving you an answer than if you're asking the sort of through support. But what we have got is the MPP user guide. Now this goes through literally everything in MPP. So, and this is that's just the titles. But everything that you go through is all linked. So you can go to cloning and they've got videos and everything in there. So if you're stuck, this is like sort of one place to go to, and it's got stuff in which you can download, like checklists and obviously the video schema code and your Spintax helper stuff, all sorts of things like that's inside. If you go to get it, the link is on the download page for Magic Page plugin, and there is a link on my site as well. But if you just keep it as the Google Doc and don't export it as a PDF or anything like that, every time I update it, you will get the latest version. Okay, so that's the best thing to do, is just keep it as a Google Doc as it is, and you will get the latest. You'll always be on the latest version. So that is one piece of information where you can get stuff from. Now, especially for the new guys, I did this like on purpose. On my site, it's the latest video I did, but it's basically called Magic Page Plugin Overview, Evergreen Sites and Single Niche PBNs. This one's a PDF. and you can download it. And I'll zoom in on this one because it's a bit smaller. I'm not going to zoom in. So this one goes through start to finish about building your evergreen site, what it should look like, how to add your magic page, the type of content to put on your magic page, how to back it up, how to deploy it, and then it goes into deploying the single niche PBNs, which is basically just using your evergreen site to build out more money sites. Okay, but you can use these as single niche PBNs, and it's got diagramming to show you roughly how you can do it. Okay, now you don't have to do it exactly like that. You can have 5 on this side, 2 on that side. It doesn't really matter. But it goes through like sort of month 1, month 2, month 3, just to give you an idea on month 4 of how to build up your single niche PBNs, how to get your sites ranking and things like that. So this is really for the like sort of newbies to get their heads around it. Some of the oldies might still need a bit of a checkup now and again to get their heads around it, but that's the way to do it. So there's 2 bits of content for you, which will help you. Now, like I say, we get a lot of people coming in and they've got issues with this and got issues with that. And a lot of the time, the first thing I'll tell them to do is check. Go into your site health. So this is on your dashboard. You can find it in your dashboard, your home. I'll just go into it. Your site health status, and just click on there. And it will tell you what version of WordPress you're on and what version of PHP. Now, you should be on the latest version. So basically, you want to be on like WordPress 5.8, which this one is. And then if you go down to server, it should say PHP 8 point something or other. Okay, 7.4 will do, but preferably you want to be on 8. And not just for magic page working, also to keep your site secure. If you're on anything less than 7.4, then the chances are you're going to get hacked. Because if you're anything like, so if you're on 7.2 or 7.0, you're leaving yourself well open for getting hacked. So keep your site up to date and you've got less chance of getting hacked. That's the other thing. Keep your plugins up to date as well. And that's all the plugins I use. Okay, that's all the plugins I would say you need. Some people, the worst one I've had actually had about 68 plugins on the site, and it's like, you can get all sorts of different things causing issues with them. So try and keep your plugins down to a minimum. Also, the more plugins you've got on, the slower your site's going to run, because all the plugins are using sort of resources and stuff like that. So try and keep them down to a minimum. So magic page, let's go settings. This is what you'll find when you go into your settings. Now, a couple of things I want to point out. I'm not going to go through all these like in detail, purely simply because they're all in the user guide. This is the one what some people get mixed up with. This is your sitemap. Okay, so as it says, it creates an XML sitemap for you. Now, you don't need things like Elementor Library in your sitemap. The only things you really need is your home page, your posts, your pages, and of course your magic page. That's it. Anything else like what Elementor puts in or any other theme puts in or other builder puts in, like if Divi puts something in, just don't have them ticked because you don't need them in, but just have them ticked. Okay, so you definitely need them ones in. Posts, you might not even need them in if you're not going to build posts, but I put them in anyway, just in case I decide to build some posts at some point in time, then I know they're going to be in my sitemap. Nothing else really down there that's mega important. Databases. some people will sometimes have a problem when they buy it. They can't see this up in the top right hand corner, which is where like sort of you've got all the list. There's a couple of reasons for that. One of the ones I found out was that somebody had actually zoomed in and somehow that was hidden. So obviously one of the first things to do is try and zoom out first so that you might be able to see it. The other one is there can be a theme or plugin issue. So if you can't see that, test your themes and plugins. But other than that, there's plenty of information on how to install these, how to use the filters, how to remove them. And of course, we've got information now on how you can use your own databases and set your own databases up. So you can pull them in, you can use all sorts of different URL structures and things like that, which I'm not going to go through. Going to Magic Page. Like we say, we work with Elementor a lot. That's what all our templates are in. But it does work with Divi. You've just got to play around a bit. You've just got to put everything into HTML codes and things. And it does work with Thrive themes. And it does work with Oxygen. But again, you've got to mess around with them, which is why most people just use Elementor, because you don't have as much messing to do. Down on the right-hand side, you've got obviously where you put your central location in, and you've got export to posts and pages. That's what I'm going to be showing tonight. You've got the dynamic backlink builder. I'm probably going to do some more videos on this because the videos I've done are probably about over a year old. I'll probably do some more on that one. Then you've got all of your shortcodes even. So you've got like location, pretty standard, that's the location of where you are. The slug is the part that goes at the end. Obviously, a description, that's if you've got a description in the actual location. Then you've got your county, your region, zip, country ISO code, latitude, longitude. These tend to be the ones I use the most, like location and slug, and obviously county and region and zip. Cities code, this has now become complex because you can have all sorts of variations on it. You can have like list with links, which is the one I will use for the site because that puts a list with links. Let's have a look. So that puts it like that. Because what I found was if you have the comma separated one, if you put it into Google Analytics or Search Console, it'll sometimes come back and say you have an error because your links are too close together, because you've got like the link, the comma, and then a link straight away. And if you've got small titles instead of long ones like that, then it comes back and like orc in there, it would turn around and say you've got your links are too close together. So now I always use the list. Location, you can change like the label, put stuff in there. This you can select your counties, which if you only want to display certain counties. This one you're going to see what this one's for when I do the demo, but that's basically selecting whether you want posts and pages, magic page, or only the current type to be showing up within that. And the groups, you can select different groups, which I haven't got any set up in here, but I have in the other one. Magic link, that's so you can link again to different areas. Again, this is explained more in the user guide. I'm not going to go in detail in it. Google Map, I don't use this purely and simply because when you've got lots of sites, it becomes bloody expensive because you're getting charged for the actual API key usage. And then you've got all these other shortcodes and builders. And again, all of these are in the actual document which goes through them. And if you have any problems with any of them, chuck a support ticket in or ask in the group, and I'll knock a video together. If the video that's on there that's not good enough, then tell us and I will put a one in. Obviously, you've got your SEO settings, which you put your meta title, your meta description, and your keywords, and you can have that clicked just so it creates a canonical link going back to the relevant page. And you've got your schema. You can have it disabled. You can have the simple schema, which fills 99.9% of it in. And obviously you can pick from here whatever your schema is. Like if you're doing a gym, we can do like that. And then you've got the actual correct schema for it. As you can see, these are all filled in with shortcodes. The address, you can put spin text in there so that each magic page becomes, so you could put 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. That'll do that. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, come out as one brown street, wherever you are, whatever region, whatever zip code. Phone number, you could use an X field in there. So you could just put and that would be your phone number would go in, same with your email. Obviously that's your URL. Your logos, your price range. Bit of a description again, you can have spin text in there. And that's your map URL, which basically, as you can see, it takes the Google Maps, it appends the location, and then it also adds a latitude and longitude. So that will show a map, which will be within the region of, it won't show it, but it will put it in the schema, which will be the correct location for the actual page. And then you've got the latitude and longitude, and you've got all your opening hours, whether you want 1 range, 2, 3, 4. And then you can add all of your social media or 5 of your social media links, your Facebook, Twitter, etc. X fields, I've got lots of videos on X fields because I love them. As you can see, even though this is a test site, I have lots of X fields in. Spin text shortcodes, again, they're very good because you can put all sorts of stuff in them for spinning. And then location sets, you can put location sets in there, which I use with the X field to actually create. Have I actually got any in here? No. Just put a location set in there, and basically I could display different video on the page, and that's what I use them for. Again, on my site, keithbest.com, you'll see videos on how to do that. So that's basically all of the Magic Page plugin. Don't overcomplicate it. Where's my PDF? Yeah. Don't overcomplicate it. This is all you do. You build a home page, a contact page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 service pages. 4 or 5, it doesn't really matter, but you want 4 or 5 service pages. You add Magic Page plugin. I use my home page as my Magic Page, and it links to each of the service pages, as does my home page. So that's it. That's as hard as it gets. People try to overcomplicate and do all this weird stuff with it, and it doesn't need to be complex. It's build a site, add Magic Page, build it out slowly. So when we go to here, we put our location in, and I don't think I've put it, let's install a database, then we've got something to look at. Use a small one, not small. I'll just pick Northern Ireland because it's small. Obviously, you could pick wherever you want to go. You can use your filters to filter out areas like sort of the population, things like that. If I now go back to my magic page, and if I type in Belfast, so that goes up 200. No, it might say, right, okay, I only want to do 15. I'll do. When you're doing them, it's unnatural to Google for a site all of a sudden to come up and have like 50, 60, 100 locations all in one go. So hit the auto install locations, it takes it back down to 0. You then click choose option 1, press update. But what you must do now, so that this works off the WordPress cron job, and what you must do to make sure it kicks off is start it off itself. So install 10, I tend to install 30. Don't know why, I just do. But now I've got 30 installed, and now over the next 30 days, it will install the other 43. Now, one thing you need to also be aware of is I've only got 43 actual pages now to install. So it'll be no good me trying to install them over 60 days because it wouldn't work. Okay. And we have had that where somebody had more days than what they had pages, and that's why it wasn't working. So always make sure the number of days is less than how many you've got to install. Okay, otherwise the system can't install 0.1 of a day. It's got to install a location. Okay, so make sure you've got more than that. And then that's it. Just press update, and you have some sites, some places loaded. If you want to see what's loaded, click on the blue button, and it tells you what's loaded. And then you can actually go in and view the page. I have no idea what this will look like. Oh, there you go. I haven't even got, it's got some, that's just not a lot on there. That's just a play about site. So that's the basics. Now, what I wanted to show you is, yes, this one. So there's a lot of people wanting to build directory style sites and sites where they export and post some pages. And they seem to be getting confused with how to create a URL structure for it. So the easiest way to do it, I put in there first. The easiest way to do it is to actually use posts and create categories. Okay, so when you've got posts and you've got categories, then you will get your demodirectory.com/California/ the name of your site or the name of your page. So if we have a look at this one, so as you can see, I can't look that in, can I? Up there, all I've got is the home page. Okay, demo directory magicpagehost.com. But when I go to California, that's a page, and basically I now have California there. Now you can use like sort of child pages for this, but the easiest way to do it is just to use posts and use categories. There is no difference to Google whether you use a post or a page. All Google sees is HTML. So there's completely no difference. The benefit you can get from using posts is if you have something like IFTTT set up on your site, then basically what can happen is when you use a post, that gets put into your RSS feed. So what you could do is drip these out slowly, and I would drip them out very slowly. Don't be doing 30, 40 a day, because if you start putting these out and your RSS feed is then feeding these to like your Tumblrs, your WordPresses, your Reddits and all the rest of them, if you're chucking 30 odd out a day, your chances are you're going to get them sites banned. Okay, so put them out 2, 3 posts a day and let it build up nice and slowly, and you're now getting links back to your site by using the posts. And then what you do is you've got links on here. So now when I click on Terminix, I don't know if you can see up there, but there I've got demo directory. In fact, let's do that. Where did that come up? There you go. So there, as you can see, I've got my main site. Then I've got my category, which is California. Then I've got the URL, the slug of my site there. Okay, and then if you go down here and click on that one, and if you notice, all of these guys are in California. I've now got a different slug. And if I go to Texas, I've now got Texas, and these are all in Texas. I'll show you how this is done. So you've got Texas, as you can see. We've got Texas there, and we've got natural care, pest control, pest control. So how is that done? So all I've done is I create a magic page. Okay, and these have been imported. Well, Mike's done a video, I've done a video. There's a number of videos which show you how to export your data from Lead Simplify of your prospects and import them in. And that's where these come from, like the meta company name, the meta address. This one I've done, in fact, let's have a, let's go into Florida. Because as you can see, if I go into Pest Control Pinellas Park, which is one of my sites, notice how I've got a phone number on there. But if I go into Safer Home Services, there is no phone number on there. Okay, and the way I've done that is by using that if statement there, which you get by using the conditional shortcode builder. Okay, so you can build up an if statement like that using the regions, the counties, the locations, and whether it's a major city, and then you put your information in. So for this one, because I know I've got them sites in, I've just got, if it's one of the locations, is equal to Pest Control Lealman, Pest Control Kenneth City, Pest Control Safety Harbor, blah, 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 all of them, then put a contact them today and then the Xfield phone number button. Okay, which is just basically an Xfield which has got the code in to display a button. So when it's Learman, you get, when it's one of my sites, you get the contact us there straight away. They click on that and that opens up, obviously on their phone, that would open up to their phone and would call them. If it's Joe Bloggs down the road, then he don't get that. And that's basically how I've done it. So to actually export it, let's go back to, right? So this is me. That's one of my pages. Let's go into Magic Page. Edit. So now what you can do with this is you can create a page like this one. Okay, a Magic Page. Set it up like this. Export it out to posts. Then change your Magic Page to be something else and create a standard Magic Page. So you can have posts, which are your directories, and then you can have Magic Pages, which are your own landing pages for pest control or whatever else you're doing. So that's all it is. It's just a basic Magic Page. Nothing special. But then all I need to do is go over to, I've got me category set up. California, Florida, Texas. Let's say we're going to do another one. I'll just add another. Let's do Miami. Okay, so that's me. Add a new category. I've just got a category of Miami. If I go back there, I'll just refresh that so it picks up that category because I've just done it. So I'm going to export the posts and pages. I want a category of, I think it hasn't picked it up. It doesn't pick the bloody thing up. Oh no, that's me group. That's my fault. Group wants to be Miami. That's it. This is where I pick the categories up. So I'm exporting the posts. Kill that one, and we've got Miami in there. Just leave it at that. I could actually put in there. I know Miami's not a state, but am I? Then you got auto generate, or you can change that if you like. I tend to leave it. So now if I take that out and just do Miami. Oh, well, I've got Miami in. Oh no, because I've got there's none of them got in Miami. Let's have a look. We'll just have coastal fumigators. Now we'll put 10 miles of them. Okay, so this is now going to create 31 locations for these guys. You've got to have these. It's all explained in the user guide, why you need these. It's just so that the page is actually formatted properly. And you do an export. And it's done. And then we'll do that. What you'll have now, this is just pick these up. Obviously, it must have been in Texas. But all of these will be, as you can see, all the local pest control companies in Miami. It's only picking those up which are in the Miami group. and that's the city shortcode, which is using the group function, which I showed you down here. Copy that. So there it is, cities type, UL, which is an unordered list. So that's why you get them one after the other. The group is the same. So it's got to be the same group as what that one, which one was it? That one. It's got to be the same group as what that one's in, which is Miami. So therefore, if it's a Miami one, it shows it. There's my thing going. And the post type I've got just as a post, so it's only going to show post. Because if you had magic pages, it could get them both in as well, and you don't really want that because you don't want the same thing appearing twice. So I just have it as a post, and then it just shows it up as that. And then it doesn't matter which one you pick on, you'll get all of them in Miami. But if I decide to go to California, I'll now get these, which show up in California. That's it, really. That's just what I want to show you, how it is that you can use the posts instead of exporting the pages and get a better structure for your sites. So you're getting, you slug in whichever one you want to have it in. Any questions? Lost by the looks of it.
You've got loads of questions you've had coming in throughout, mate, but I left it all until
Yeah.
now.
Right.
So I'm going to move these questions to a different screen because the one I've got it on is too small for me to read them properly. Let's have a quick. Oh, it's not letting me pull them over now. Typical. 1 second, bud.
Right. I've got some.
Oh,
That's George's.
when
Where's
scaling
that
out, are we
dog?
supposed? Oh, go on.
Oh,
Marcus
hold on.
Roman at
Right.
1805 was your first question, bud.
Right. When scaling out, are we supposed to respin all the content on the site on a spinner like spin rewriter and then taking a spun article and slapping on a clone site for each page? No. Basically, I will put spin text on my site, especially if I'm going to be building out, like, say, 10, 15, 20, 30 or more sites from a site. I will put spin text on. I just use page rewriter now. I used to use spin rewriter and stuff, but you don't need to. I created a document out of using spin rewriter, 1,000, 1,500 word document out of spin rewriter, stick it into the AI rewriter. It creates a number of paragraphs which are spun 4 times.
Keith,
So if you think,
are you talking? Keith,
yeah,
then you're creating a document with spin rewriter. Do you mean page rewriter?
yeah, page, that's it, spin rewriter. I thought AI rewriter.
About 5 times. Yeah. So you're using page rewriter, yeah?
Yeah, I'm using page rewriter. Create the document with page rewriter, put it into AI rewriter, and then it creates 5 blocks for each paragraph. So they're all unique. So if you think you've got 20 paragraphs on your thing, you've got a hell of a lot of combinations. And then you can just put that on and Magic Page plugin will do the rest for you. So you create an evergreen site, just as it says on here, and then you just deploy it, and then deploy it by domain, host it, add WordPress, restore your evergreen site, install your database, pick your location, select your auto install location for 30 days, and go back to step 1. So buy 10 domains, you can have, literally, if you buy 10 domains, you can have 10 domains up in 2 days, quite easily. And that's creating videos and all sorts of stuff for them. If you just bought 10 domains and just put content on, you could do all 10 domains in a day. It's not hard. That's that one. I use supposed to create a spin text shortcode for every section of the homepage content or just sections. That's up to you. I like to create spin text shortcodes for most stuff, because then if I need to change it, it's very easy for me to change like sort of one section within the spin text shortcode, as opposed to trying to find it in my site in amongst all the spin text. So, but it's up to you. You don't need to. Lynn saying, where is that doc? If you go to, if you're on about this doc, the overview, the MPP Evergreen site overview, that's on my site, which is keithbest.com, and it's the Evergreen site and single niche PBN's video. You'll find the doc there. If you want the MPP user guide, then basically you can get it. I can put the link in the actual thing. If I get the link, I'll put it in a bit. But you can also get it from magicpageplugin.com. From the download page, you can download the MPP user guide there.
It's on the right hand side there, Keith. It just says user guide. If you go back to that page you was on.
Yeah. Oh, I never noticed
Top
that.
right, user guide.
Everybody's been asking where do you get the user guide from, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put it underneath the bloody plugin. And I never saw that myself.
It's been there a year since you finished it.
So now you can get it in two places. You can get it from the button there, or you can get it from up there. So there you go. Plenty of places to get it from. Yes, it does play well with Thrive themes, because Hurt is using it a lot with Thrive themes. There is an issue with the spin text. In certain cases, it auto spins it, but
if you're creating an evergreen style site, if you're one of the guys who came in our boot camp, someone mentioned the boot camp earlier. We're going to probably do one in March next year, guys.
Are we? All right.
Yeah, we'll give it a few months after Christmas and start mailing for it. But we're doing it in about March. If anyone's creating evergreen style sites, do not use Thrive, because basically what happens, unless your evergreen site has never been spun, because what it does is the first time you spin it, it then submits the actual spun content to the page. So all the pages are actually written in real content. So every page is completely different, but obviously unless you set the evergreen style site up correctly, you can the spin text gets broken as soon as you've done it once. Go on, mate, sorry.
Yep, no problem. Syed is asking, is the New Zealand and Australian databases up to date? They are, as far as like when we got them. I mean, if you want databases, there's plenty of courses on, videos on how to update the databases for what you want. You can take stuff out, you can add stuff in, because we've got the import and export of databases functionality. You're going to get rid of that. You go into your settings and go to import export. So what you could do, import your database, which was, or go into your settings, set your database in for Australia, come into here, export all your locations, sort out the ones you want, and then import them back in, add new ones if you want to, all that. And that's what I do with a lot of mine. I've got all the UK now. I've got them all set out, so that all my counties in the UK have exactly what the databases the locations I want in, and the URL structure I want. Jason's asking, yes, dynamic backlink builder, please. If I get through all the questions before 8 o'clock, which I probably will, I'll go through the dynamic backlink builder quickly for you, Jason. If not, I'll do a video for you if you give us a clue of what you'd like to see on it. Can you send me a sign up link? Will there be a replay? I'm not sure what you want to sign up to. There's no sales or anything like that, Joe. but it's just Magic Page plugin. Would you run ads to a site that is not indexed yet? You could do, because it would still show up and it might help it get indexed. What would you do?
It does help it get index key.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
right away it would, because obviously you're getting traffic to it. So yeah, you could do. Marcus is saying he was asking if he had to break all the homepage content into sections on Page Rewriter and take that spun content and add it to the homepage as spin text. What I tend to do is just the paragraphs I've got when I build up with Page Rewriter, I just block the paragraphs out and just put them into blocks on my page, and that's it. I don't overthink things. I mean, if you look at this hasn't been done because this is an old site. This wasn't done with Page Rewriter. I probably could do with like sort of redoing, but as you can see, I've just got a bit of blurb there, a bit of blurb there, a bit of blurb there, a bit of blurb there. So I just split it into blocks and just do it that way. You can just do it in a long drawn out thing, which I've done as well. I've done that in just a long form content. And sometimes I'll put things like, let's see if I've done it in one of these. No, I've got that the same, like that. So like there, I've just got bits there, bits there, bits there. So you can just do it like that. It doesn't need to be split out anyway. Just split your paragraphs. That's all I do. Syed saying no reply means data is not yet up to date. By when can I expect New Zealand? Basically, Syed, you can update them whenever you want. It's like I said, you can just import and export them yourself and put in what data you want.
Yeah, so just a sec, Keith. So say if you haven't, if the data in there is not completely up to date for New Zealand, then what you can do is you can just go and get a New Zealand database that you want to use, which there's tons of them on the internet, and then you just change the columns so that they match the format of the one you download from MPP, upload it, and it'll work. So you can upload your own database, no problem. That's how the affiliates are doing it. What they do is they get a database of products and things that they want. They change the column name so they match the download that's been imported from MPP, and then they upload it and they create massive affiliate sites. Sorry, Keith. I'll shut up.
No problem. This one is for Ed. So he's just bought the actual products, so he's lost is where to begin. His issue is the train's all over, and where can I go to get step by step putting all the tools together? Well, Magic Page plugin, that's your best place to start. Start with that, and you've got everything there basically. You start with Magic Page plugin.
Page where that is? In the chat.
Yep.
Will you put a link to the page where that is in the chat?
Yep, I'll just get it. That should be it there, I think.
And they can download the document there as well, can't they?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Where's my chat going? Hang on, can't find my chat. There we go. So that's a link to that one. And that is the link to the Google Drive. There's the user guide. They're your first two ports of call for Magic Page plugin. Okay, so if you get them two, then basically you can go through it. There's also on my site, you got a free step-by-step, which basically goes through find your niche, check your competition, keyword research, domains, adding WordPress, getting content, create your base site, build your evergreen site, add your location database, set up your homepage, and clone in your site. So you've got all step-by-step through there as well. So you can join on that one as well if you want to. I'll stick a link in for that one. These are going to get updated because obviously some of them are like out of date. I need to put new stuff in because some of them are a bit old and they are getting updated. Entered his day job and he's, where can I find this training? Is this going up? Where is this going to be going up? Should I just put it on my site as well as putting it wherever else, or where do you want to put it?
What do you mean this video, the replay? I'll put it
Yeah.
onto my, I'll post it into my YouTube channel.
Right.
Probably tomorrow it'll be once it's been rendered.
Right. It's going to go into Mike's YouTube channel, Ed. That's where it's going. So Graham Hughes, I'm a sign maker and I have an existing website called signsvancouver.org. I have some of my service showed up on page 1 of Google, so I don't want to lose their rankings. How do I utilize the MPP in this scenario to increase my locations for these keywords? Basically, if you've already got your site up, you've already done that bit. So add your magic page plugin. If you haven't got very good service pages for all of your services, then make better service pages. Add your magic page plugin and link to your service pages. Pick your location, yep, and then deploy it on that location. And then basically, where your service page, where your site is ranking now in like sort of Vancouver, then all you'll do is you'll have Vancouver is your central area, then a 15, 20 mile radius around that area. It will create magic pages for you, which will help it to rank. And then just work from there. If you want, if you find there's a lot of like search volume for somewhere near Vancouver, then basically build another site which looks very similar to yours. You can even make it the same logo and everything like that. Put it on, brand it exactly the same, and build it up, and then that will become one of your single niche PBNs. Once it's indexed, you can link to your main site, and then just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Ed Ryan's asking, what's the best way to make money with a directory site? There's a number of ways. You can sell the leads off the directory site. You can sell positioning on the directory site, so rent out a spot on your directory site on the homepage, things like that. Any other ones you can think of? I know you'll be thinking of loads.
Well, I mean, yeah, the main way is gonna be selling links. Obviously, is one of the best ones because you can get super relevant local links from a directory, especially if you give them a full page, and there's written content on there with specific keywords in the links. So doing that, obviously doing do follow links, so making your directory so that every single link on a directory is no follow, meaning that only the premium links are do follow. That's another good way. You can sell. Do that as kind of an SEO service if you've got multiple directories. In addition to that, you can also sell positions on the directory. So if your directories are ranking and they're generating traffic, you can sell positions. In addition to that, you can add your lead simplify form on there, which generates leads that comes into your business, and you obviously sell the leads direct to the local businesses or to the people who are renting locations off you. And you also add your phone numbers to the directories, because a directory, what's brilliant about a directory is in most areas you've got a business that will rank for, say, Plumber Manchester, but there's also, say, 500 different plumbers in Manchester who all get direct traffic. So one might be called Brian Smith Limited in Manchester, and he might be Brian Smith Plumbers, and he'll get a lot of direct traffic. There could be one called Wooden Door Plumbers, but he's getting direct traffic from previous customers, and if you rank for them with your directory, they come to the directory page thinking they're landing on that website, and you've got a phone number and a form on there. You're going to pick up the links. You're going to pick up the leads for your people who are buying it off you, or to cater for it for yourself. So there's tons of ways of making money with directories. Directories are absolutely awesome. Many people fail with directories, and I think the reason many people fail with directories is they're not creative enough with how they turn them into money. I am currently in the process of building probably 1,500 directories, and once they are ready, probably looking at March next year, we're going to be doing some link selling from them, enabling people to buy links on there, which is going to help rank your site. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to use it to rank my own. I'm building the network to rank my own websites, and I'll obviously show you guys exactly how I've done it, what I've done, so you can build your own directories, or you can purchase linking programs via me, via the directories and the websites that I'm creating. Back to you, Keith.
Okay. Jane is asking, can we get the Google? Oh, where we at? That was it. Jane has just said, making a mental note to build. Glad to know the post can be used to structure a directory build out. Well, that's why I've done this video that way, because a lot of people were trying to like sort of structure using pages, and it's a lot easier using posts. Plus, like I said, you've got the added benefit of, if you've got that connected to an IFTTT network, they're all going to get pushed out into IFTTT and onto your other properties. Can we get the Google Drive link? I'll put that in. Where do we get the PDF? Put that in. Can we filter by location via zip codes and not radius? Not from within the actual Magic page, but what you can do, if you go to your settings and go to Magic Page Databases and go to filters, then you can put in here the actual zip codes what you want. And that was a bad one to pick because I haven't got a clue of any zip codes in Wales. So if you put in there, you can put like sort of WF1, and you can put whatever other ones you want in. So you can put like sort of % at the front or % at the back, and it will pick up, and it will only install those.
CF.
That's what?
CF Cardiff.
Oh no, I've gone into Yorkshire and Humber.
All right, sorry, I can never see because when you zoomed out.
All right, I'll zoom back in again. Just there we go. My screen, that's it. Yeah, so basically it's just, you just put your postcode in what you want, and it will then work from like sort of that area. And you can put 10 postcodes in, 20 postcodes, and then it will only install those locations that are within the postcode. So obviously then when you do your radius, you're only going to get the radius for that postcode. George has just put a question mark in. So then we've got Jana, Elementor is still the preference. It is at the moment, yep. How many sites can you run with one plugin? That depends on what version you buy. If you buy the single site license, then you've got one site. If you buy the professional, then you've got unlimited sites. So you can build as many as you want. Jason, thank you. Just need to know where to start with Dynamic Backlink Builder and how to use it. I think we need to get buckets on service first. Not sure how it works, where to start. If you look on there and scroll down, you've got categories. And there you've got Dynamic Backlink Builder. And there is a few sites, a few on there. And like I said, I'm going to be doing some more of these because these are like sort of pretty old. I mean, that was 2019. So yeah, they are pretty old. I think we need to do some more. It's like sort of getting on the 3-year-old. I'll do some more, but that's where to find them. It was Jason. There's some there, and just go through them. I'll try and get some more up over the weekend. Yes, there will be a replay, George, and it will be on Mike's YouTube channel. when you put videos on your MPP page, do you simply put an embed from some random channel? And is it the same video on all MPs created, or what do you do? I create my own. They're not the best videos in the world, but therefore they don't need to be. Let's go me home. And what I do is I always start out with one actual video, which is for the location. So this is Clearwater, so I've got a Clearwater video. And then basically when I see which sites to get or which areas are getting the most traffic, what I'll then do is create a video for that area, and then using the location sets and X fields, that allows me to actually put a different video on each page. I don't know which other one's got I don't know which other one will have it on, but you've got different videos on different pages. It just helps. Need info on the affiliate sites thing, totally missed it. I will be doing some videos on affiliate stuff in the very near future. That's for Jason and for Jeff. Steve's asking, does MPP do internal silo link and by category? When you do it the way I've just showed you, using the categories, then yes, because I've got all of these California, the locations for California. Where's my post? All post. So all of these Miami will only link to all the other ones in Miami. And just like
Chief,
with your norm, yep.
a good one to show on this is if you go to 3local.com.
3local.com.
This is a project that we're working on at the minute, which is it was something we started a long time ago and we didn't end up doing nothing. We've restarted the whole project now. But if you scroll down the page, you can see 5 different services. There'll be there we go, CCTV, alarms, emergency electricians, electric vehicle charging, auto electricians. So if you just click on alarms, and then if you scroll to the bottom of the page, there'll be a lot of content on it because we always put tons and tons of content on.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So we've got this. So if he clicks onto them links at the bottom, they will take him round the silo for the alarms. And if he goes to the other one, you'd be in the exact same situation. And this site has been built doing exactly what Keith's showing you how to do today. Okay, because basically Keith spent, how long did you spend? 20 minutes with Dan, one of the guys in my office.
Yep.
And Dan's put
Yep.
this site together and he didn't know how to do it before. And I've still never built a site myself doing it this way, but I know how to do it. But that's a great site because you can see the way the silo works.
Yep. Yeah, when you put them into categories like that, they do just link to all the categories, and it will just, and then you can have as many categories as you want, and therefore you are going to get them siloed. Michael's asking, should I index my site through Google Console or let it be found? When I build mine out, Michael, I let mine build out for the month, like I showed in there, where I set it up so that it's going to build out the pages over the month, and I just leave it. I just let it build out for a month. I forget about it, build some more sites, and just forget about that site. At the end of the month, that's when I put my site into Google Search Console and Google Analytics, because I like seeing what's going on. But that's just the way I do it. Mike doesn't even bother putting his into Google Analytics or Search Console. There's different ways of doing it. But it's like, if you want to put them in there, most of mine will get indexed. They won't get all of the Magic Pages indexed, but they'll get the majority of the Magic Pages indexed by the end of the month. And then I just put it in Google Search Console, and that's just purely and simply so I can get the data. So I can look straight away and say, right, okay, this area is getting lots of searches because my page is showing up for like lots of searches. What can I do? Right, I'll build another site in that area. And that's how I've ended up with lots of different sites.
Whenever I'm struggling to index a website, one of the things I will do, and it helps with link building as well, is I will go and find a lot of expired domains on sites like Yell, Thomson Local, builder type style sites, where they've, because I do a lot of obviously manual trades, and I'll go and find expired domains by running through them sites and looking for thingies. And then you could just 301 redirect them to your website, because what happens is those sites are all indexed and they're crawled regularly. And if that link 301 redirects to your website, then what Google's going to follow the redirect onto your website. It's going to find your site and start indexing your pages. You can build sites on them and use them for linking and all that as well. If they've got a great linking profile previously, then it's a good idea, obviously, to turn them into websites, because they will rank in their own right, and you can obviously use them as a PBN site to rank your money sites. But if they're not the best, they've got hardly anything going for them, but they are listed on 2 or 3 directories, then it's a great idea to then just 301 redirect it into your website, and that will get Google to find your site and find your pages via the sources that the previous business had listed their business. So that also helps.
Yep. And there will be something coming out shortly for helping to find them, won't there?
Is that next week?
No, that's not next week. That'll be the next one after that.
Oh, so that'll be after Christmas, will it?
That'll be after Christmas, that one, yeah.
Okay. But next week we've got something coming as well, just in case you be here next week. Sorry, mate. Go on. I'll let you carry on.
Yeah. So Thomas has asked, or said, sell display ads. Yeah, you could sell display ads if you wanted on your. I'm assuming that's for your directory site. That's another way of making some money.
I'll just give you a brief thing on that though, Keith. I mean, I used to, at one point, I was doing 5 figures a month from AdSense, just from AdSense alone, sticking it on sites that was generating leads and generating thingies. That dropped, even though the traffic went up, to a couple of grand a month. It is a real hard slog to generate an income from AdSense alone. I know it's the easiest one to set up, but display, you can get a lot of display ads that will pay decent money. And if you're going to go after anything, I would do your research in the industry you're in and find the people who are paying big ticket for the display ads, because Google AdSense, although it's the easiest to find and the easiest to set up, it's the amount of money you make from it these days is absolutely crap unless you really do target specific, really tightly target your keywords, like your legal niches and things like that, where cost per click is ridiculously high, so that they can pay you a couple of quid a click. So that's just in case anyone's going down that route. Do your research and obviously try and tighten up what it is you're targeting, because most industries, it's crap. It's absolutely crap now. You need huge traffic.
It's like Amazon with affiliate, isn't it? It's like you get like sort of next and out with Amazon, but if you find Amazon's good to start with, but then once your site's starting to generate income, then basically you need to find a proper site which you can affiliate with. And so you get like, instead of getting like sort of 1.5% or 2% off Amazon, you can get 10% or 20% off them. That's a lot better way to go then. And it's just the same with the display ads. Jana is, with directory sites, how many Twilio's numbers do you assign per number? I'm assuming that's per site. And what is the best way to structure Twilio numbers to save on costs? I basically just have 1 Twilio number per site, and that's it. And that's how I structure mine. Some people don't. Some people will do like sort of 1 Twilio number per 10 sites, 20 sites. It all depends on how you do it. I like it because then I can see which of my sites are working and which aren't. And obviously, if one's not getting any calls, I want to know why. And then I'll look into it and then I'll boost that one up. So it does start making some money. You do anything different?
I honestly don't care. I'll put one number on 50 or 100 sites without even thinking about it. We're building a directory setup at the minute, which is going to be 1,500 to maybe even 2,500, 3,000 sites deep. And I will have a standard phone number that goes across them all. I will brand them all as 3 local directories. I will link back to 3local.com from every single one of them. And I will let Google know it is a network of sites that's designed to rank local businesses, that's designed to connect the customer to the business. And I will also sell links on those sites. I won't let that be a public thing. But from my experience of building hundreds and thousands of sites over the years, a lot of the stuff you hear from a lot of the SEOs is absolute bullshit. And if you look at what most of them have actually done and where they've done it, they're just reading from what other people have done in the industry, or what other people have told them in the industry, and they've never actually done it themselves. I've built massive networks of sites with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of websites, sharing numbers, sharing IP addresses, and all other crazy stuff like that. And as long as you're not actually breaking any rules, like Google's specific rules, they don't care if you've got one website, you've got 50 websites with the same phone number on it. If you're providing a proper service to a customer, you've just got to think of it logically, right? If I'm going to put the time and the effort and the work in to build 50 websites that rank really, really well, that have got great SEO, that provide the service to the customer, and the customer, when they click on my website, are getting what they're supposed to get, then Google doesn't give a shit, because Google's dead happy that you've just provided exactly what the search term that the customer wanted. Okay, it's these spammy, crappy sites where you're really not providing what you're supposed to. So yes, it probably will help with rankings a little tiny bit if you've got a specific local number for that specific local site. But as far as the cost involved with having lots and lots and lots of different numbers, I just don't bother. And I never have.
Mine's not to actually got bugger all to do with the rankings.
I know yours hasn't. What I'm saying is, what a lot of people do tell people, though, is you have to have it that way. Keith does it because Keith's like detail orientated, and every tiny little dot is I's dotted and T's crossed. Yes, whereas I just don't care. And I've never had a problem with not caring. I think of it logically from Google's perspective. If I'm building 150 websites and they're all genuine sites providing a proper service and doing what they're supposed to do, and the customers are happy, why would Google give a shit about kicking my sites off? It wouldn't. Whereas when a lot of people are trying to absolutely spam the hell out of something, but they're not providing the service they say in the ad, that's when Google's going to take your sites down. So don't overthink it. Just provide what, if you're ranking for something, a search term, then provide that service, because that's the only way. It guarantees you're not going to get your sites taken down or de-indexed. If you're ranking for stuff where it's just absolute crap and you just really are throwing, that's why I don't build any spammy links at all. I do not build spammy links. I don't go and buy any. I have done in the past, but I mean, it's been 5 years since I bought a shitty link off somebody. I will get a decent quality link, like the sort of ones you can get off like Herc Magnus and people like that, but I won't go out and buy crap. I never will. Everything that I do is completely relevant and stays relevant. Hence why any industry we decide to target, we usually win.
Yeah, just like you say, just build a site, as it says, a home page, a contact page, decent content on all of your pages. Don't skimp on the content on your pages, and it works. It's when you start just putting crap on your pages, then it's not, and it doesn't matter how many phone numbers you've got, they ain't going to help you. Like you say, mine's because I'm OCD, which is why I put stuff into Google Analytics and stuff like that. I just like the data. But who's this? The next one is Joe, which is, are the monthly fees for the hosting? If we don't host with you, are the monthly fees still applicable? The monthly fees aren't for the hosting, Joe. The hosting is a freebie. The monthly fees are actually for the plugin, because the plugin takes a lot of maintenance and it's regularly getting updated. So yes, the monthly fees do apply whether you have the hosting or you don't have the hosting.
Steve's also in the process of setting up a new hosting platform, which he's going to offer free hosting to all of our users. Which it's going to be hosted in a different way, so you got a little bit more power and you can add more pages and do a few other things. I was talking to him about it last week. He's not on tonight because he's out, but he's basically said, yeah, he's in the process of building it. And when it's live, cool, anybody using Magic Page plugin gets free access.
Cool. That'll be good. Jason says, sweet. Thanks. Looking forward to director education. Ed says, thanks, Keith. You're welcome, Ed. Scott how do you add a separate picture onto every page that is created? You can add a different picture in exactly the same way as I've added a different image, like a different video. If you wanted a specific picture for Largo, say, so I wanted a specific picture up there for Largo, you could do that. Or what you can do is spin the images, which is basically, again, there'll be a video on my site which is about spinning the images, and you can just spin the images and you'll have different images on each page that way. But unless you actually got to go through and do like sort of a location set and X field for every page on your site, you can't put a separate one on every page.
Keith, one of our users, who I went to visit a few months back down in Manchester, what they've done is they're hosting the images themselves off site, and what they're doing is they're using the shortcode in Magic Page to link to their own images and bring their images in. So if you imagine you've got / location, that particular image for that particular location is stored in a folder that's called whatever the URL is, / and then / the location, and they're using the location slug from Magic Page plugin, and then using the slug as the URL for the image. So what they're doing is they're pulling a different image in for every single page. It took them ages to set it up because they only target one specific industry. They've actually basically built out this this image library, which absolutely, and he said I could tell people. He said he has no problem with that. It's like it'll help people. It will help with the SEO because then you can have every image can have the correct metadata and all the other stuff in it for that particular location. And they can also have specific types of writing and stuff that Google can read from the image that mentions that particular industry in that particular location. And that's why he does it that way. The way it's set out was brilliant. I don't think he was using Amazon. I think he was using something else to store the images, but I'm pretty sure anywhere that you can store images, as long as it serves them up quickly,
Give us a couple of weeks, Scott. Give us a couple of weeks, Scott, and I'll do a video on how to do it.
I can put you in touch with who's done it, Keith, as well, so you can see it if you want, mate.
Yeah. I've got an idea who's doing it anyway.
Okay.
So Jason said, okay, thanks. I'll check out your site for dynamic backlink builder. You're welcome. Christopher, I have a multi-site license, but it's prompting me to register another. Can't figure out why. Want to send a ticket in for that, Christopher, because I can't obviously answer that on here because I don't really know what license you've got or anything like that. If you send a ticket in to support@mikemartin.zendesk.com, have I got the link handy? I'll just find the link, 2 seconds.
No, it's support@mikemartin.zendesk.com.
That's what I said.
That's the email.
Yeah. I'm just trying to find the link. That's it. Yes, the email, not the link, isn't it? There you go. If you want to send a support ticket in, I'll sort you out, Christopher. Michael, in the syntax options, for example, service one, content, can I put one article spawn, or can I put more articles in, creating more options for the backlink? You can put as many articles in as you want. Inside the page, edit. Inside the spin text shortcodes, inside here. Now I've already got like some text in there, but you can put full HTML code in there and it will work. So what you could have is you could have an article in there, an article in there, an article in there, article in there, article in there, article in there. And basically what would happen is Magic Page plugin would come down and say, all right, he wants meta titles put in somewhere. Okay, which one should I put in? Oh, I'll pick this one today. Oh, I'll pick this one. Oh, I'll pick that one. I'll pick that one. And it randomizes where it was. So you can put as many, you can put paragraphs in there. You can put full HTML code in there. You can put whatever you want in there. I think I've actually got a video on my site where I actually put the, is it on this one? That one. That's not that one. One of these sites has actually got frequently asked questions down there. And I've actually got the code, the actual code in, which creates the accordions. So when you click on them, they open nicely and they'll do all that. And that was just to playing about. You'll see these sites, they've all look the same, but they've all got all sorts of governs on them because they're basically just test sites. Chris was asking, can I use my license on several of my domains or multiple sites, Mpp site under one domain? You can't use it on multi-site. You can use it on subdomains, and you can use it on multiple. If you've got the unlimited license, then yes, you can use it unlimited time, so you can have as many sites as you want. If you've got the single site license, then obviously you can only use it on a single site. Well, I say, Chris, if you send a support ticket in, I'll be able to help you out and get you sorted. Bienvenue is asking, I hope I didn't kill your name there. When is the next boot camp? Basically, that will be in March. I've been told. So
As long as you're not aware of anything, yeah, we'll be doing it in March.
I am actually away on the beginning of March, so I'll have to be like mid-March. So I'm going away at the beginning of March for me, because it's my birthday at the beginning of March. So yes, well, provided we not locked down again, I'll be away at the beginning of March.
There we go. So we'll start it second couple of halfway through March. We'll start the boot camp. Then, guys, we'll start mailing for it early on, and everybody who paid and completed the last boot camp gets free access to the next one. So, and it's going to change massively because everything that we're doing has changed massively since. So we're not going to do the evergreen style site. We're gonna do something much simpler. Step by step, take you through absolutely everything, and then the last few weeks we'll cover much more advanced stuff. So it'll be right from getting started all the way through to advanced.
Cool. So we've got Augusto. Can I have a magic page per category, like web design, SEO, PPC, social media, etc., for multiple locations? I have an agency site ranking 1, and I want to find a way to use it. Just do exactly what I've done in the directory. You can't have a magic page, but what you can do is exactly what I've done with this. So basically, you've got PPC. Instead of Miami, you would just create this PPC. Instead of California, web design, and etc., etc. And then you've got all of your stuff set out. And it's just using posts instead of pages. Simple as. Michael, okay, thank you, Keith. You're welcome, Michael. Jason says, if building for a client, should we build out the site, export pages, and then uninstall plugin because it's client's one-time web dev site? If you uninstall the plugin, then it won't work because you'll have nothing which will actually do the linking for you. If you're building for clients, then you need to either buy the agency license to build for clients, or you need to get the client to buy a single site license, or you buy a single site license and then charge the client, whichever way you want to do it that way. But you can't build for clients using your professional license. That's for personal use only. Michael Sexton says, thanks, Mike. Janice says, thanks for clarifying about Twilio. Twilio killed me with robo spam charges. I've never had robo spam charges off Twilio. Jason says, that's amazing. Free hosting. Do you recommend Elementor or Gutenberg? Having issues with Elementor? Yep. Elementor, we are using Elementor a lot, and obviously all of the templates are in. We're also building sites in Gutenberg, just to see what the difference is. And I've also just gone and developed my own template, my own theme, because again, I'm having a few issues with Elementor at the moment on some of my sites where the plugin disappears and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff. So yeah, so we are playing about with Gutenberg, and we obviously do like sort of support Gutenberg as well. Not all of the different plugins what you get for Gutenberg, but the basic Gutenberg we do like sort of support, and obviously Elementor we support as well. But yeah, Elementor is becoming a pain at times.
I mean, we're trying to sort Gutenberg out, but getting the developers to create a template for Gutenberg's been a nightmare because the way they look is crap, which is unfortunate. So the Elementor ones look really, really good. It's just a case of when you're making changes, you need to just go through and make sure everything's still working properly. Like click on a few e-links and make sure your pages are still working. And that will obviously, but we are working on Gutenberg and a few other things in the pan, but the testing takes longer than the development. As soon as we find something we can work with that looks really good and loads really fast and does thingy, we will start developing in other niches, because I know we're developing 10 a month in Elementor for you guys, but I want to be developing 5 in Elementor or 2 in Elementor, and now we've got over 100. I think we've got over 100 now, or we're getting there.
We're getting near 100 now, yeah. So drop that back and start doing Gutenberg. But like I say, Gutenberg's a bit clunky.
Yeah, we're trying to find stuff that we can that it's not going to cost you money to purchase in addition to what you're already paying, and obviously where you can use drag and drop and build them and stuff like that. Steve Rockhurst showed me something a few months back called Cadence. I purchased a lifetime access to it. I know there is a free version, so that might be something that we use. We have been trying to do Gutenberg, but it's a nightmare getting it to look decent. So whether that's going to be a goer or not, I don't know yet.
We want to try and keep away from third parties, because as we've seen with like sort of Elementor, things change with third parties and then it buggers everybody up. So but we will get there. Richard Brown is asking best advice for SEO re-pictures and alt tags. If you're putting your pictures in, just use the shortcodes. Or if you're putting alt tags in your pictures, use the shortcodes. So put something in and put the location in. You could even put like the zip code in, things like that within the alt tags. Then when they display on the page, you're going to get them locally relevant. Anything else you do?
No, I don't overthink it with alt tags and stuff like that. We don't even bother. I mean, if you're looking at what did they call it? Rank something they've done recently, and then obviously they're trying to now learn how to understand exactly what people mean by what they say and understand language in a lot more depth. What we've started doing is we don't keyword stuff at all. We're going more direct to explain to Google exactly what it is the website's designed for. So with regards to alt tags and images, we just explain what's in the image. This is an image of a guy in a red coat changing a fuse box. Stuff like that, we don't really overthink it massively anymore. We used to stuff massively, but we don't now. And yet, if a location like this is a guy in Manchester doing XYZ, if it's on a Manchester website, then sometimes we use the short codes and other times we use the region. So obviously there's Greater Manchester, we'd use that as well in other ones. But yeah, it's something where you need to have an alt tag, but as soon as you start stuffing loads of keywords in, I believe it can affect your SEO negatively.
Yeah, it can be detrimental. So just I don't overthink it either. Dana is asking, is this recorded, because he missed the beginning? Yes, it is, and it will be on Mike's YouTube channel when it's done. Why not store on Google Drive the pictures? You can do, Jason. You can store them on Google Drive. You can store them wherever you want, really. Amazon, Azure, all them different ones you'll be able to store them on. So long as you can get a link for them, then you can do whatever.
Yeah, as long as you can control the URL structure to
Yeah,
be able to store the images. Google Drive would be probably the best bet because obviously they've got data centers absolutely everywhere. I think in the
yeah.
UK the closest one to us is in Ireland, but with regards to if most people are doing it in the States, they're going to load a lot faster if the data center's a lot closer.
Uh, Ed said, I knew it. Thanks for that. I'm not quite sure what he knew. I can't remember which question he was on. Crispin's going to send a ticket in. That's good. France is asking, hi Keith, how do you create the videos and adapt it for each location or only show it on your home page? I used to use Vietnamese. Vietnamese now gone, which was good. I now use Wave Video, and basically all I do is I have a standard video, very standard video, which has certain content on, but then at the start I'll just have, like this one will have pest control Largo. I'll just say pest control Largo. I'll stop that because otherwise Mike will have nightmares. But then they're all the same, and all I do is I just change the beginning and obviously change the end where it's got the phone number on, and that's it. But I am going to try some new stuff, which like sort of I learned when I was down Manchester with, I think, who we were talking about. Um, we found some other stuff out about how they do videos, which I'm going to be trying to do that. And obviously, if it works, I will let you guys know. And oh, by the way, France, there will be a video on my site, keithbest.com, about that wave.video, how I use it. I'll probably get some scripts together at some point and like sort of give you the scripts and that, what I use. Jeff is saying, will there be a replay? There certainly will, and it'll be on Mike's channel, on his YouTube. Mike says, okay, got it. Should I spin the article? I can't remember what that question was. If that was for the one putting into the separate spin text shortcodes, you could do, you don't have to. If you could have put different articles up, you don't really need to. But it's up to you guys. Thank you. That's Michael's. You're welcome, Michael. Bienvenue, the lifetime license for personal use, because they are the actual professional license. So yes, they are for personal use only.
Sites you own or manage. If you're managing a
Yeah,
customer site, there's no problem using it
yeah,
on there, but you obviously can't sell sites with the API keys on. You need an agency license for that.
yeah. John says you had to update a PHP memory to 56 with Elementor. Yes, you will do. Michael says cadence blocks. I think that's what we were looking at. Yeah, the cadence blocks. Ed Ryan says rank brain. Yep, that's what Mike couldn't remember.
I don't remember much, do I?
Michael says, is there a time when I should minimize or not? What's the pros and cons? Only minimize your site, minimize your plugin when it's actually on a live site. When you're building your evergreen site, don't minify it, because otherwise then when you export that site to a live site, it's going to be already minified and it just sort of defeats the object. So once it's on a live site, then minify it and then you're good to go. I sometimes forget to minify it as well, but it's Magic Page plugin now is on so many sites out there that like sort of it's not going to really matter a huge amount of difference where they have. Again, it's like one of those things like sort of just don't overthink it. Google's not looking for us, guys. Richard says, thank you for the images. Good advice. And Michael Sexton says, thank you. So it's any more questions, guys? Because I've got to the bottom. If not, I will do a quick run through for, I sort of preempted this. I've got to find the dynamic backlink builder site now. Just give us 2 seconds and I'll pull up the dynamic backlink builder when I can find the damn thing. Here we go. Okay, so there's no more questions. Nope, no more questions. Right. So dynamic backlink builder. It's going to be very quick one, this one. I'm not going to go into the full thing. Like I said, there's lots of videos on my site regarding dynamic backlink builder. There's a number of them on. I am going to get round to doing an actual document for it, like the Magic Page plugin user guide. It's just finding the correct amount of hours in the day. If I had 48 hours in a day, I'd be good. But I haven't, so I'm getting there. One thing with dynamic backlink builder, put it on a site that you're not going to use for anything else, because what you're going to do is you're going to be changing stuff a lot. Okay, so you want, so it's not going to be used for anything else. And you don't need a shared load of plugins on. You just want basic template, basic themes on, nothing like sort of, you don't need Elementor, you don't need anything like that. Like, as you can see, I've got classic editor, so I'm not too keen on the Gutenberg stuff. I've got a security plug on because I don't want that. Updraft Plus, just because I keep backing it up now and again. And Zadio, because I was just playing with Zadio on it for some reason. And obviously I've got Magic Page on it. You don't need lots. And I think the theme, I probably will have generator press on actually, because that's standard for me. Yeah, I thought I would have. That's a standard. You don't really need, you can just put whatever one you want on. So on my site, what you will find, I have some templates which are basically made out for you. I haven't got a clue which like sort of template this has got in. But what you do is basically get them templates, and these are for the HTML side because that's all I use. I only use the HTML stuff. I never really use the PDF stuff. Suppose I'll have to play with it. You go into there and you put, oh, this is theme 4. So basically this is all done for you and it's laid out. And as you can see, it's got X fields in different places. You know, like X field H1, X field tagline. That's got you for your video with your video schema in and all this sort of buttons. And then what you do is you put your CSS stuff in here. And that's all like the CSS which works with this sort of template. Like I say, on the videos, it goes into depth about how I create these templates and all the rest of it using Mpp Rise, which is a free thing you can use to create HTML sites. And I've got all my X fields down here. There's more in here than what you need for this theme because I've got X fields in for all the different themes I use. Because like I say, I have a number of these themes built out for myself. Then what you do is you have your content goes into here. Like I've got my phone number in there. I've got my form embed code in there. I've got a map embed code in there. And then I've got various bits of content for the titles and stuff. So you build your content up how you want it. And then you just run your dynamic backlink builder. You select your directory you're going to install it in. So I'll just call that my test bucket 7. As you can see, I've got a number of test buckets. You want the 301 redirect the home page for missing pages, but you want these other two. You can create an XML sitemap if you want, but I never bother. And you want these actual rewrite URLs with htaccess. So just leave that blank because on the Amazon and the Google, you do want the HTML on the end. And I think on the Azure, it's a long time since I've created them for Azure, I think you want the HTML taken off. You put in just the same as the export posts and pages. You put in the area you want, the location you want, and it'll give you the number of locations you're going to do. Images, I always export them and put my style sheet in and export that to style. Rewrite the URL structure so that it becomes correct for the area that you're going to put it in. Generate the meta tags, which is these guys down here. As you can see, I've got syntax, meta titles, and meta descriptions in. I would normally have them two ticked, but because I'm testing, I'm playing with this template, I haven't, because otherwise, the minute you find the HTML and CSS, if you don't know, it takes out all the spaces and stuff like that, so it just bumps it all together, which is great for a computer, but it's a pain in the backside for a human to try and read. So when you do it, you would have them done, and obviously you can have your, because I'm doing it on a direct, you can't have that, but you can have them done. Never use that bit, and it's page titles. You can put as many of these in as you want. You can put spin text in there, exactly the same with the file names. The template, we've only ever got the one base template. I've created others, and search and replace, don't do that. You can click the save settings, and that will save you having to keep putting all these in over and over again. Then you just do export. And it goes away and does that. Obviously, if you try and do like there, I've only got 19 locations. If I did, if I did something like that and try to do 1.6K locations, the chances are, unless you've got a big server, you're going to kill your server, because it will create the locations as HTML files. Then it will try and put all of them into a zip file. And unless you've got like quite a bit of disk space on, it's going to just kill it. So you'll be sat there forever and a day. So don't go like sort of too mad with it. Don't know what I had then, just in case I actually. But then if you, once it's done, you can click on it and it pops up and shows you what it looks like. So there you've got like sort of, as I say, this is just something I'm playing with. You've got a video, you've got some text, you've got a nice call us button, which will come up with a number. And then you've got a bit more text, call us, then you've got the contact us. Got a slightly wrong form on there, seems it's for electrician on a pest control site, but like I say, it's just testing. And then you've got your other things. Once it's done, and you can click out of there, and then you download the zip file. So if we put that in my downloads, place it, open it up. There we go. Go into my test bucket 7, and then we've got it in here, and then you will open it up. That one. But then you've got, that's what you get. As you see, if I hover over that, it's got tel 72768644172, which is my X field. And that is the dynamic backlink. It's not really hard to use. The hardest part, like you say, is creating the buckets and then uploading them to the buckets. But that's all covered within these lot here, using dynamic backlinks and things like that. That's Moby Rise. I'll create some more. That's the Amazon S3 links. I'll create some more because it's a bit out of date, all them lot. I should go back to 2019 because I didn't realize it was back to 2019. Is it? Yeah, definitely need some more videos for that doing. Hope that helps you with Jason. If not, send us a put something in the Facebook group or send us a ticket in, and I'll do some more videos on you. Any more questions? Ed asking, have you guys been good boys this year? I don't know about that one. Augusto is asking, how are you making your custom videos? With wave.video. It should be on the site somewhere, I would think. It might be buried under all the it could be buried somewhere, so you'll just have to search my site for it, wave.video. But yeah, that's how I create them. If you want us to make another one, just tell us and I'll knock another one together. Thank you very much, Ed. Ed's wishing us all a Merry Christmas and a happy and healthy New Year. Time off? What's that, Ed? Jason, thanks for going over Dynamic Backlink Builder. You're welcome. Yep, setting up the baskets is probably the hardest part about it. Jana says thank you. You're welcome, Jana. Michael, had issues in Google Console on the HTML doc not being mobile friendly. In S3. I'm not sure what that's about, Michael. You might want to.
It depends, because there's a lot of things where it picks up nowadays and says, look, the elements are not far enough apart to be clicked on a mobile and stuff like that. With stuff like that, you need to. I mean,
tweak it.
When I'm using the city shortcode, I've seen it a few times, and we create additional CSS, and we add a tiny bit of padding to the A on the page because every single one of them's a link. So if you just put 2 or 3 pixels of padding to every single one in the CSS, that'll automatically just push it out far enough so that it's far enough away that Google says, okay, it can be clicked, or like Keith does, turn it into a list.
Yeah, that's what I do. I turn it into a list. If you're on about the HTML, like sort of from the dynamic backlink build, if you have pinched one of my, well, no, pinched, like actually downloaded one of my templates, then that's probably cost like sort of the from 2019. I'll probably do some more newer ones. But yeah, that could be what it is. Just adjust them. They're quite, they're only HTML, so if you're not sure about HTML, then check out W3 Schools, as that's where I get all my information from, because I don't remember stuff like that these days. And Eric said, thank you, great stuff again. Keith and Mike, you're welcome, Eric. Michael said in S3. Yeah, if it's from one of them, Michael, it's like I say, them go back to probably 2018, 2019, them templates what I made. So they could be like sort of not mobile friendly, but I'll probably do some more. Michael says he appreciates us, Mike. That's very nice of you, Michael. Haha, we've got another Geordie in the house. Well, I'm not really a legitimate Geordie. I come from Peterlee. So I'm not sure where you come from, Graham. Obviously, you come a bit further north. But it's nice to see another Geordie in the house, yes.
You can't call yourself a Geordie if you left. It's like me saying I'm from Manchester when I live in Weymouth. You're a traitor. And now you're trying to be a Geordie again.
No, I'm not a traitor. I still go up there, back up there. I'll never be a Yorkie. I know that, oh, he comes from Gateshead. Oh, it's nice area, Gateshead. I did up in Gateshead many, many, many moons ago. I think it was in the 80s. I did the very first Great North Run. There you go. That's my claim to fame. And I got on the telly as well when it was done, which was well cool.
I've done so many runs up and down the country, Keith, and the Great North Run was the best one, man. The Geordies were shouting and they were oggy, 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 and all that, oi, 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 off the bridges and everything. It was like, wow, you guys are nuts.
Yeah,
the Manchester run was crap.
You were knackered. You were like sort of just about to like sort of stop, and you'd turn the corner, everybody be clapping like, oh shit, I can't stop now. I'll have to keep running.
Yeah, I remember doing that one.
That was one of the very first half marathons that was ever like sort of done, which is like I say, that was way back. I've still got the T-shirt as well in my drawer. I just saw it the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, bit of reminiscing. Ed says Mike mentioned he was taking some time off this year for the first time in many years. Yeah, I
Shut
think
up,
we will.
Keith doesn't know.
We'll have a few days off for Christmas and Boxing Day. If I have too many days off, I get bored. So basically, I'll still be playing. I'll still be like sort of doing stuff. I enjoy it. This is not a job for me. This is a hobby.
Yeah, I've
Uh,
actually built 20 directory sites today.
yeah.
That's whilst I'm chilling at home. So over Christmas, I'll probably be doing 20 to 50 a day, even though I'm off.
Oh yeah, it's like we do. It's playing, isn't it? It's what I don't watch telly. I can't stand watching telly. So I'd rather just be on here and just like sort of messing about and just testing stuff and seeing what happens. Like they say, if you throw enough shit at the wall, some of it will stick. So that's all I do. I just play around, put sites up, take sites down, put more sites up, take them down, and just play. It's good fun. Richard Brown, never a tight. No, God no, never be a Yorkshire pudding. Probably shouldn't say that since I live in Yorkshire. Like I've probably just offended like sort of half of our audience. But there you go. I've never been known for me tax. Ed says I know now. Yep. How does Mike get away with one phone number for multiple sites? Don't you need a phone number for each client? Not if you
No, I've got
use oh, go on.
I was just gonna say I've got loads and loads and loads of sites that have got like some of the phone numbers we use are on like 150 different websites. I just don't even think about it. I don't worry about it. And if this website is providing the correct service to the customer, then Google's not got a problem with it. And all these guys that are telling you that they have, they're full of shit. I mean, you might get a very small rankings boost for having and let's say a Manchester an 0161 number instead of a thingy. But if you use mobile numbers, I don't see any difference unless you're obviously you're linking it with a GMB and you're using your NAP and you're doing all the other stuff and you're creating a business. So if I was building sites for a customer, I'd have all of his correct information on it. I'd have a GMB. I'd do all the other crazy stuff. But when I'm building sites that I just want to rank to generate leads, to either sell the leads or to service the clients, I just don't overthink it. I even put the same brand on it. I mean, like I said, we built 20 directory sites today, and every single one of them link back to 3local.com, and we say it's the 3local directories because this is the project we're working on. This is the thing we're working. And when you see it in 3 and 4 months time from now, and I'm showing you hundreds of different URLs and they're ranking in thousands and thousands of areas, and we're ranking for businesses, we're ranking for keyword locations, and we've got links coming in from all different locations. You'll realize what I mean when I show the network, that 90% of what people tell you is absolute crap just so they've got something to talk about. A good example was the other day. I sold one of my bitcoins in Coinbase. Like put my account on hold, and I was about to draw 46 grand out. They put my account on hold, so I was like, okay, well, I'll have to wait. And I've been waiting now probably a month. So I did a post on my Facebook channel and said, has anyone had this experience before? And somebody gave me the advice saying that you'll never get your money back because of X, Y, Z. And I mentioned something else on there, and then his response was, yeah, I don't actually know what I'm talking. And I thought straight away, that's like 80% of the SEOs in the industry. They don't actually know what they're talking about. I've actually fallen out with a few people because of it, um, because they say things, but they've never actually done it, and they've never actually built it, and they've never actually made anything. They're just listening to third parties, and it's like Chinese whispers. They just basically, I don't even know if you can say that anymore, or is it racism? But it's like we called it Chinese whispers when I was a kid. I don't know what they call it these days. But basically, it's like that. It's like the same thing. If it goes around the room, and by the time it gets to the other side of the room, it's a solid fact that he's telling you, and it's absolute bullshit that he's been told from somebody else who probably started the rumor because he thought if nobody else knows about this, or if everyone thinks they have to do this, it takes them 3 times longer, or it costs them 3 times as much. And that with the phone numbers, we've done it on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of websites, same phone numbers. We've never been bothered, and we've never had a problem. because every single site fulfills the need of what it's the search is for. All we've ever done is thought of it logically. If you're providing the service that you say you're providing, why the fuck would Google de-index your site? And we don't get me wrong, we've had a couple of sites de-index, but usually they're 25,000 page websites where they've got a homepage and then and tons of pages and been sat up a long time. We've never done any linking, we've never done any off-page SEO, we've never got any sort of done any groundwork for the website. But if you do some of the work needed, when we're talking local, we're not trying to rank for the top of Google for electrician on a national basis. And if we was, then maybe all of these little tiny things would matter. But we're hitting local. Local is so easy. Build a decent site, put quality content on it, and build a few backlinks, and that is it. Google calls it EAT, don't they? Google expertise, authority, and trust. Okay. Yeah. When you're talking local, that expertise, authority, and trust, it's like a substitute teacher, or it's like a training teacher type of authority and trust. It's not a fully fledged head teacher that's been doing it for 25 years. That type of trust that you need. With local, it's easy. And having the same phone number on multiple sites is not a problem.
Yeah.
Go on, I talked for ages.
If you've got like a client, then I would have one number and redirect it to them. If you've got a lead gen site, then basically if you're using Lead Simplify, it will then forward them to all of the lead buyers, and then it's up to the lead buyers to, you know, whoever picks up the phone gets the call. So that's how like you can do it that way. Michael says, got to make it over there. Sounds like a blast. Yeah, we have a lot of fun. That's what life's all about. Got to have a lot of fun and have a laugh and with each other and stuff like that. If 100 sites have the number, how do you forward the call to correct clients buying the leads? As we just said, use Lead Simplify, and you can do all sorts with it and get them going. Michael Sexton says, keep the Bitcoin. It's a bit late now. Christopher likes your Chinese whispers.
Yeah, you got to be careful what you say these days, haven't you?
Yeah, makes a change. You've been politically incorrect. And Jana says, it's bad when someone does know and gives you the wrong advice. I pay for 100 numbers for one directory to gain a local ranking advantage. Jesus. Yeah, that was very bad advice, Jana. Definitely don't need 100 numbers.
Right, I'm going to go into the chat now. Right, take a look. You're not going to find the numbers on these directories because I've not activated them, right? But if you have a look at, I've just put 20 links in the chat there, right? Them sites have all gone up today. And if you look at them, there's different locations, different businesses, different thingies, but you can click all of them links and you'll see that we're not worrying about the fundamentals. We literally, the directory page pulls in different businesses from different locations, but there's probably 6 or 7 from Leeds.
You're still there.
Can you still hear me?
I don't know, taking over. Yeah, I can hear you. Taking over my neck of the woods. You keep going in and out, though.
Yeah, the internet's been crap down here. We've been having storms. But yeah, if you look at them, you can click on them. You see that, look, a lot of the things, and I guarantee all of these are going to be ranking shortly. We put them up today. I'll put the same amount up tomorrow, the same the next day, the next day. If you look, they're all for different areas. We've got 6 or 7 for Leeds there, I think. Some for Glasgow, some are national, some are covering 6 or 7 trades, some are only covering 1 or 2. But that's kind of how we build them. It's how we've always built them. And we just don't listen to all the bullshit rules that people talk about, because 99.9% of the stuff that you get told is bullshit. You don't. James Dooley said it to me, and when he said it, it was like, wow, yes, such a perfect saying. Don't let perfect get in the way of good when good is good enough. And when you're doing local SEO, good is good enough. It really is. You don't necessarily need, if you can build, if I can build 20 sites like that in a day, okay, and it'd take most people that long to build one, then I'm going to go out and build 20 sites that are just half decent like that. They've all got decent schema. All the businesses, all the listings have got schema. Most of the stuff's taken care of. There's some of it that's duplicate, but most of it isn't, and most of the relevant stuff definitely isn't. They'll rank, and I'll get, if it takes somebody a full day to build one website to a good standard, and I can build 20 GMBs like that using Lead Simplify by just pulling all the business off Lead Simplify, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. In fact, click on one of the other ones, Keith, because that one's only got one industry. Yeah, you see, it's got the electrician industry there. If you click on,
Yeah.
let me
Which
just
one?
click on one. The bottom one, I think, had more than one industry, but I think it was only major cities.
There you go. I've got that one. I've got
Right, so that one's 24-hour electricians, alarm company, CCTV. That one's got 6 different industries there. If you click on one of the industries, okay, that one's got, oh, yep, click on Leeds. So that's just a local Leeds one. And you scroll through, you got all the businesses. If you look at the schema and stuff like that, there's nothing special about these sites. There's nothing amazing about them, but they will rank, they will work, and they will, and all these businesses are pulled in from Lead Simplify. You just download them. It really isn't difficult. That's their. If you click on one of the listings, actually go up to one of the listings. Just let's see. No, that's not a listing. That's a local page. But then you can click on one of them.
What one of them?
If you have a look, if you click on one of listings, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see we've done the working hours, we've done the ratings, but if you have a look, we've even got their GMBs pulled in with the CID numbers. These things, give me 3 or 4 months on these, and I'll have them ranking absolutely everywhere. And there's hundreds of them going up in the electrical niches, and there's thousands going up in all the industries we're going to be targeting. So a lot of the industries, and we're not designing these so we can outrank everybody's websites. We're building these to build backlinks for our sites that we are going to be ranking. And then obviously once we can show that they work for the ranking side of things, we'll then enable people to get links on all of our directories. But it's only our internal mob. We're not going to be selling these publicly. If somebody wants to join public, it's going to cost them a ridiculous amount of money. But our internal mob are going to get like a 90% discount so they can resell the service and make a huge profit. So if they get clients who want them to do link building, local clients, then you can easily, very, very easily outrank anyone you want, just by sticking it on this and saying go type of thing. But you'll see where it comes from. That listing's crap because it's not got much information on it. Some of the listings have got loads, some haven't.
Cool. So Christopher says he doesn't bow to the walk. Yep, and neither do I. Can't say the other word though. Augusto, yes, I can hear. Augusto says the sites look really good. Yep, they do. Which is unusual for Mike.
Yep, I've had help, and now I'm getting a team.
Oh, yeah.
They do the difficult bits for me, and I just yeah.
Yeah. They do all the nice looking stuff. Mike just puts everything together, and they do the nice stuff.
I'm a big picture guy.
Yeah. Jana says, you've got my gears turning. That's good, Jana. So get out there over Christmas, start building lots of sites. You won't make loads of money off one site. And I think that's one thing I think what falls a lot of people down is to try and use Magic Page plugin to make a fortune from one site. It isn't going to happen. You need to dominate an area, so you need more than one site. You can't do like one site that covers the whole of the USA and expect to be making thousands from it. It isn't going to work. You know, lots of little sites will cover a bigger area a lot better. And it's like I haven't touched them sites for God knows how long, my pest control sites, but in certain things, there's like sort of, 4, 5, and 6 of them. I think it's like emergency pest control, like Lealman or Largo or something like that. I think I've got about 6 of them sites on page 1 and the video. That only leaves 3 spots for competitors.
Keith,
so it's like,
can you open your Lead Simplify system?
I've got it.
You have a system that you use as a demo, don't you?
Yeah.
Your demo system. I just want to show Don how you get these businesses from Magic Page, because I didn't realize. Sorry, from Lead Simplify.
There's
He's asking here.
well, there's, well, I can't find the bloody thing. Oh, I'll be looking right first.
Right, so when doing this, you have to put your own Google Places API key in, and the reason you have to do that is if we let you do that on our dime, it'd cost us millions. So you do have to put your own Google Places API key in, and there's a video in there that shows you how. But you literally go to the prospects, and choose a location and an area. Oh, go on, he's got it here. So you go, yeah, onto leads, prospects. Select one of your industries. Up at the top. So you hit the drop down, choose one of your industries. You have to pre-install these industries under your preferences tab. So plumber, if he sets a radius, you're better off doing a small radius like 3 miles because it will only pull in up to 60 businesses. So if you go further than that, then you're going to be in a position where it's not going to pull in as many businesses as you could, and then you're better off doing multiple searches in lots of areas. So if you do that now and you click search, he selected leads as the location. This will go out. And it'll search, and if you look at the listings below, it'll pull in up to 60 businesses.
It's still going at the moment.
There you go, and there you go. So once that's come in now, I'm assuming that will have pulled in. There you go. So the full page is full of plumbers, and then right at the bottom on the left hand side there is an export. Oh, yep, there's an export feature there where you can export it, and it's already exported, ready for Magic Page plugin. But if you don't want to use Magic Page or you're using something different, then obviously you get the databases of all the businesses, and that enables you to then create these type of sites. So it depends if you're using MPP or not. It's totally up to you. But that inside of Lead Simplify, as you'll see with my directories over the next 12, 18 months, I'm going to be pulling tens of thousands of businesses from my Lead Simplify system, and those tens of thousands of businesses will be used in these directory style sites for all the different industries. I mean, go through some of them directories I've just shared. You'll see we've got thousands and thousands of businesses. And don't get me wrong, guys, it costs a fucking fortune to do it. But when you do it and you do it right and you get it the way that we're doing it there, you will see that in the long run, it's going to be worth it, because I want local, relevant, high valued links for my websites, and going out purchasing them, I'm just going to get absolute crap. So I'm going to build out these sites which are completely relevant. They cover every industry that I want to target. The ranking for all the businesses in the industry. They've got the businesses' phone numbers on. They've got businesses' websites on. Everything else. But as I said earlier, all of the links on the site are going to be no follow, except the ones that point to my websites or to anybody who decides to purchase links of us in the future. So they're going to work, and you're going to get no follow and do follow mixed, so that it will. It won't look like spam, because you'll be doing exactly what I'm doing to rank my sites. Sorry, Mike, what was Lead Simplify? Lead Simplify is a collection, distribution, and sales software for leads, Graham. And you just literally, we designed it because when me and Martin first met, my business partner, he came in and I'm sat there with a payment terminal, 2 mobile phones, right, and two pads. One pad had all of my engineers in it who were taking jobs off me, and the other pad I used to write down as people phoned up. And I was sat there and I had gout at the time, so my foot up, couldn't walk, and I'm answering call after call after call after call, and I'm answering and I'm scribbling them down in one pad. Then I'm going through my other pad to find engineers in the area, and I'm ringing these guys in these areas, and literally Martin coming in and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Right? And I'm like, I'm running my business. This is how I run my business. So literally I was making 5, 7, 9, 1,000 a day, things like that every single day. And we're selling hundreds of leads a week and sometimes thousands. But I was doing it all myself and complete manual like that. So it was 24 hours a day. I was answering. I had the pads and the thingies next to me bed. And when he's seen it, he's like, right, we need to automate your business. And then basically that's where Lead Simplify started probably 10 years ago. So first of all, we wanted to be able to automate the collection and the distribution of the leads, and now it's gone to the point where you collect, distribute, and sell the leads on autopilot, so you don't have to do anything. And Lead Simplify, literally, I wouldn't be in lead generation without it. We built it to run our own business, and I don't know how I did it without it. In fact, I still know people that are in lead generation that don't use it, and when I say how busy they are and how crazy how they're having to go into emails every day and go through lists of leads and read them, and it just, yeah, it baffles me how they still do it or how I did it.
Ed says that looks nice, and Michael says important, which is why I got this put up. Yep. You go into your Magic Page settings, go into import export locations, give it a database name, and then if I'd exported that database, I would just click continue, upload it, and it would, in fact, if I go into, is it this one? Yeah, this one. You'll see if I go into this one, settings, import export, you can see there it's got me demo directory data, what's imported, and that's all that'll happen. And then what you do is you get something like that, it'll all get pulled in, and then you build out the site, just like Mike's done, or just like what I did with this one, wherever it was.
Mike's asking about the how we do the links as well. Will you go over to a I know I've got one where I've done it, caropened.com.
Caropened.com.
OPENED.com. Yeah. It's just I know I've got one here that I can actually demonstrate how we do the linking and the way it works. Right. So when I'm linking out to my site, so if you click on the electrician niche, why has that got leads on it? Give me 2 minutes. Let me edit that. Something's gone wrong with that site.
It's gone to switch electrical services.
Yeah, no, it's not that. I need to just do. Give me 30 seconds.
Electrician there goes to switch electrical service local electrician. So
yeah, I know something's got, because I've built 20 odd today, I've messed up that one. But as you know, I mess up a lot of things, Keithy.
Bloody amateurs.
You know me.
I don't know. I'll keep answering the questions while you. Well, it wouldn't be a webinar if someone didn't cock up, would it?
I don't care. It's only
not me. So yeah, important. That's right. Boy, have you come a long way. Yeah, but he still manages to cock things up, Ed.
It's all about cocking up, mate. You learn from your mistakes.
Yep.
Right, you can go back to that site now.
If I refresh it.
Yep.
And
okay, I'll click on electrician.
Yep. Now we've got
That's
Manchester.
right. So click on Oldham. It's just I know where this business is. That's why I wanted to do it that way. Right, yep. So you see that Oldham one at the top. So if you click on, right, so first of all, every link on this page is either internal or no follow. Yes, so the website links are all no follow. Click on Oldham College for me, because you see the lighter ones, they'll be like what a premium listing does. So if you come onto here, you can see the link on that one says Oldham College. So if you just come back off this one a second, just click back up and click on one of the grey ones. Right, that'll say website and it'll be no follow, yeah, and you'll see there's no additional links further down. We're pulling in the reviews and stuff like that and the opening hours, but it's a no follow link. Right, now you can come back out. Yeah, there we go.
You can see on my site that's no follow. That's strike through. That's off one of the extensions.
Right, so you go back to the Oldham College one.
So go back to the Oldham College.
Right. Yep. And so the way we're going to link on these is. Yep. So that links to Oldham College, but if you come further down, you see where it says maybe not and then stupid class, right? If you refresh the page, what we do on this, what?
Oh, you've got that working.
Yeah, does this work? Best shot. Right. So basically, the way this works is you can you're going to be able to create a link with your main keyword, which is going to be the Oldham College link at the top. That's going to be fixed, and it's got to your home URL. Then you can have up to 10 URLs on the same on the same domain, and we can through all the pages, because we're going to put you on multiple sites. You're going to be able to have linking structures that link from the additional services to 10 different keywords, which would be all different ones, and they're all going to be do follow. Now, if you could go in and show the schema on here, Keith, do you have that D thing?
I have.
Or if you could look at the schema on this URL. What we also do with anybody who does linking with us, yeah, that'll do. On the premium listings, that's not your schema, is it?
No, diagnosis.
Diagnose, scroll to the bottom and then click on that. You have to re-put the URL in again.
Oh, I know algorithm. So look. Copy that and go to. is the better one.
There we go. Right, so when you look at this now, what you'll see is if it's a non-premium listing, it will point to the Google map that's listed on our own website, so it stays internal and moves around our own website. But with the external linking, so if you imagine you're going to get a list with a no follow to all the website listings everywhere that you're listed, because you're at the top, you're going to rank at the top of the directories in all the areas within a 4-mile radius. What are you doing? Okay, got you. Can't see this. Yep, click on that. Right, so if you look there, you see the map where it says has map. That goes to their fucking Google Maps CID, as opposed to just to a normal map listing. Whereas if you looked at one, it takes a long time on your setup. But if you looked at the normal one, it wouldn't be. So what you're going to end up with is a load of no follow links that point to your website from the normal listings pages, but then your own personal listing, and you're going to be able to put 1,000 words of content and loads of things, and we'll put you on every website that's local. So if we've got national directories, you'll rank on all the pages that are local to you. On the local directories, if they're close to you, you'll have links live on them, and then as time goes on, you'll dynamically get additional links on an ongoing basis every single month. So you're going to get anything from 10 to 50 do follow links a month, plus you're going to get hundreds of no follow links, and they're all going to be on relevant pages with your content that talk about your business, with your contact information, and that thing like that. And it's going to grow dynamically every month, so, because as everyone knows, relevance and consistency is the key to ranking online, but staying consistent is impossible for a lot of people, because finding decent quality links that are relevant is almost impossible. So we're kind of creating a setup that's going to enable people to do this without doing anything. That makes sense?
Yep. And it's going to be bloody awesome.
How do you choose all the expired domains? Yep, they're all expired. They've all got history. They're all on directories. They've all been real businesses in the past. And I don't overthink it, as you all know. I really don't care.
Yep.
As you can see, that one I said before, caropen.com.
Which is basically exactly what Bradley's asking. This is when we set up a directory, do we have to use a domain that sounds like a directory or not? Because caropen.com does not sound like a directory, but it is confused.com.
Yep. No, I don't care. That's what I'd say to people. I don't overthink it. If it's a real business from the past and it's in the same industry, I'll go after it. Car Opened is a bit of a bad example, because I've been using that to actually build the directory structure and strategy as it's growing. But if you look at the other URLs I've put in the chat that you can click on, the nearly all ex-businesses that have been in the electrical niche in one way or another in the past, and they've either gone out of business, but they're all listed on lots and lots and lots of different directories, like Yell, like Thompson Local. They've got GMBs. I've got 5 or 6 domains, 5 or 6 just from yesterday, that have got GMBs already attached to them, that I'm now going to build the sites, get all the NAP information, get it all correct, and once everything's set up and I've set up an email address and everything else for them, I'll then go and try and get the GMB as well by trying to register it and getting it and doing it via the email format. And I'll pick up the GMBs as well. As the thing is, they're not for me to generate leads off the GMBs or to generate leads from the directories. I'm using it to link the sites to the sites that I want to rank. But the only way to build out a proper network that's going to rank on a national basis is doing it this way. It's not doing it how a lot of SEOs will show you how to go buy crappy links from here, there, and everywhere and do these things. That works when you're just trying to take a small section of an industry or Greater Manchester or something like that. But when you want to take a full country, you kind of have to do it at a much bigger scale and kind of follow this type of structure and strategy, unless you're willing to spend millions and build a site like Rated People or Home Advisor, which is just not cost effective for any real person. So this is the second best. This is an alternative way of doing it.
So we can't just go to Fiverr. So we can't just go to Fiverr and buy 1,000 backlinks for $5, and that'll rank our sites. Okay. That's where I've been going wrong.
Yeah, Bradley, just find expired domains, mate. Get on expireddomains.net and find expired domains. That's how we do it. I have my guys in the office to say to them, every time you get bored, go and find some expired domains. And they still message me saying, what about this one? What about this one? I'm like, just buy them all. I don't care. You find one that's got any sort of domain rank, that's got any backlinking structures, just buy them all, because they cost what, $5 or a $10? I'm really not bothered. Just buy them all. We wait till they get indexed, and then we start building links with them. We don't start building links until we know they're a decent quality site, and Google doesn't hate them.
Yep. As the last part of your question there, Bradley, is the main thing. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Like you say, it costs what, $7 for a domain, which is about a $5 in UK money. If it doesn't get indexed, all right, you've lost a $5. You know what I mean? It's like sort of just, but if it does get indexed, you've just gained a site which can make you quite a bit of money. So,
right, Keith. My lad's knocking on the door. I promised him we'd play on PlayStation at 8 o'clock my time, and it's 20 past. So, right, 2 minutes, big lad.
right.
I'm going to have to call this to an end tonight, guys, unfortunately. But thank you, everybody, for being on. And thank you, Keith. We are going to do another webinar next week, and we've got some stuff to show you to do with GMBs next week that I think you'll really, really like. So
it'll be good.
Most of you guys get on. And just thank you very, very much for coming. Thank you, Keith, for all the training and everything you do.
Welcome.
And we'll see you all next week. So cheers very much. Thanks.
See you next week, guys.
Happy holidays, happy Christmas. Cheers, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye.
See you later. Bye.